Good morning, beloveds. I have a visitor, but I don't know if he will make a cameo. He's a shy one. Let me see. Come on. Yeah. No. All right. Let's see. He's going to lay down. And that is my beloved Foster. He was supposed to be a foster, but one of my other cats, Gabby, who is difficult, she's 16 now and she's still difficult, but she's mellowed a little bit in her old age, fell in love. And we went, well, I guess we'll keep him. So, yeah, but the name stuck. Foster. All right. Ooh, I have to move I was working on the YouTube channel last night, and finally, all of the 365 Science of Mind is now up. Every one that I did, because I was missing about a week and a half in October, that is done. So everything is on that YouTube channel, the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel from last year. And I'm about a week behind on this one, but I will attempt to catch up today. The internet has been just weird lately, which is why if you watch the Sunday services on YouTube, it's kind of like those old, Jeffrey said they're like the watching the old Godzilla movies where the mouth is moving and the words are a little behind because they don't line up. They don't line up at all. And I've had about 3 weeks where it did that, and I don't know what's going on. So I'm just like, so I'm just doing the best I can. I'm just doing the best I can. Okay, so it is June 13th. Our title is I No Longer Interfere with the Higher Mind. And our Emerson quote is, we are wiser than we know if we will not interfere with our thought, but will act entirely or see how the thing stands in God. We know the particular thing and everything and every man. And that is Emerson. So let's see what Charles and Ernest had to say. I have faith that the mind of God not only created this universe and man, but also forever maintains its creations within its own bosom, nurturing and furthering the perfect plan and the divine concept. The divine forever knows what to do and is forever doing it. Being all in all, it is never conditioned, never inhibited, and never limited. I am the outlet of all that mind is, and I am always in the presence and always using the power of God. I cannot escape my divinity, try as I may. I cannot be a failure, for God will always win out in the long run. God uses me as his channel for good. My best planned ideas will fail me if they are founded upon selfish principles. Each time I work for my personal gain and disregard others, I am interfering with the divine action, and I merely punish myself. The divine order and law will always prevail, despite my human will. I cannot change God, but I can change myself. I now cease all interference with the divine plan of my life. I stop deciding long-range plans for the future. I accept the fact that I am wiser than I know. I am wise enough to let life unfold in its own ways and for its own purposes. I respect my world, for in it I see the action of God take place. I respect my fellow man, for he was not made by himself, but God created him for a purpose. I respect myself and my own abilities, recognizing the divine within that seeks to make me greater than I am the present. My consciousness turns with confidence to God. His ideas appear in me in perfect order and on time. Letting the infinite mind have its full sway in my thinking makes life easy and right. I can never falter nor fail, for I am governed by mind and by mind alone. Divine ideas impel me forward today, and I rejoice in my many demonstrations. All right. He said a lot, and some of it seems to be contradictory, so we're going to figure that out. But one of the things that he said, and I think that this would sum up, well, he said two things. One, I cannot be a failure. You cannot be a failure, for God will always win out in the long run. So you cannot actually fail in the long run. You might have minor setbacks. You might have some pretty serious setbacks. But in the long run, you cannot fail because God is with you. And then the other thing is my best planned ideas will fail me if they are founded upon selfish principles, right? Each time I work for my personal gain and disregard others. So we're not saying not to work for your personal gain. Just don't do it at the expense of others. That's where it comes into the misuse of the law, is the disregarding of others. The expense of others. I would say that is a good basic principle in science of mind. It's like you are allowed to work for personal gain. You are absolutely allowed to do that. But there are rules. And the rules are that what you want for yourself, you want for absolutely everybody. And you cannot want it at the expense of another. Nobody's left out and nobody's hurt. Beyond that, you can have all the personal gain you want. So don't ever let people think that we're all about personal gain, and don't ever let anyone think that we are not ever about personal gain. Okay? That's very Buddhist, and it's very possible that he got it. It's like Buddha found the middle way. Buddha found we're neither aesthetic nor completely materialistic. He found the Buddha found the middle way. It's like, all right, what you want, you can have, as long as you are willing to let everyone else around you have it. What you want is okay, as long as it doesn't hurt or take away from anybody else. So, I no longer interfere with the higher mind. And so initially when I read that, I was like, I didn't think it was possible for me to interfere with the higher mind. But that's not what the title is about. What the title is about is us getting in our own way. Really, honestly. All right, Emerson. I'm working on my relationship with Emerson this month. We are wiser than we know, if we will not interfere with our thought, but will act entirely or see how things stand in God. And that's if we don't interfere with our thought. Basically, if we are willing to think the thoughts of God and get out of our own way. We know the particular thing and everything and every man. That's Emerson. All right. So, I have faith that the mind of God not only created this universe and people, and literally everything else, but also forever mountains. God created this universe and all living things, but also forever maintains its creation within its own bosom, nurturing and furthering the perfect plan and divine concept. So basically, God created us and God still watches over us. God still is providing for us. The power is still flowing from God into us that we get to continue to use. God didn't create us and then turn us loose. God is still involved in the creation. But God is not a personality. God is not directing our paths. God is providing what we need to do it ourselves. The divine forever knows what to do and is forever doing it. Creativity knows what to do. So, Being all in all, it is never conditioned, never inhibited, and never limited. We talk about unconditional love. The only being capable of unconditional love is God, because unconditional love can't judge, and God can't judge because there's nothing outside of God. Every love we have is conditioned. Every love is conditioned. Some of it is simply conditioned based on the fact that we're genetically related, or so there's always a condition. We're frequently inhibited because we let our thoughts run away with us, and we limit ourselves. God is none of those things. I am the outlet of all that mind is. All that mind is. You are the outlet of all that mind is. And we are always in the presence and always using the power of God. Always. That is one of the things God provides all the time. I cannot escape my divinity, try as I may. You cannot escape who you are, and you are a beloved child of God. I cannot be a failure, for God will always win out in the long run. All right? So that's what I'm talking about. It's like, yep, we can have setbacks. Yes, we can have in the moment failures, but in the long run, we will always succeed. Always succeed. Because God can't fail. God uses me as God's channel for good. I say that to yourself when you get up in the morning. God is going to use us as the channel. God uses us as a channel for good. My best planned ideas will fail me if they are founded upon selfish principles. Each time I work for my personal gain and disregard others, I am interfering with divine action, and I merely punish myself. Yeah, I wish that was true. I definitely, yeah. All right, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. But that nature gives freely of its bounty. God gives freely of God's bounty. Humans would do well to learn this. Because we are all children of God. Every living thing is a child of God. Not just people. We have a right and a responsibility to care for every living thing. What we want for ourselves, we have to want for them. And we want them to be safe and peaceful and comfortable and well taken care of. All right. The divine order and law will always prevail despite my human will, which means I can get in my own way, but in the long run, God's going to win. I can get in other people's way, but again, in the long run, God's going to win. I cannot change God, but I can change myself. And that's the God's honest truth. The only person that we can change in the entire universe is ourselves. And if we are willing to change ourselves, it will change the way we interact with people, which gives them the open door to change themselves. We are not doing it. We're not doing it. But our willingness to change ourselves, which changes our interaction, can change people. But it's their choice, not ours. I now cease all interference with the divine plan of my life. What is the divine plan of your life? To be authentically you. That's it. That's it. There is no go here, turn left. No. The divine plan for your life is to be authentically you. To be a beloved child of God, reveling in your peace, your creativity, your happiness, your joy, your harmony, your love. That is your divine plan. All right? So don't get these predestined craziness. No. It is to be authentically you. I stopped deciding long-range plans for the future. I think that's a little contradictory. I think that we should make plans, but I think we should be willing to follow the guidance when we get to a certain point in those plans and the paths diverge and we're getting a divine push in one way. So it's like, don't make plans, but don't be rigid about it. Okay? Make plans, but don't be rigid about it. I accept the fact that I am wiser than I know. I am wise enough to let life unfold in its own way and for its own purposes. Get out of my own way. I respect my world, for in it I see the action of God take place. I respect my fellow person, for they were not made by themselves, but God created them for a purpose. What is that purpose? To be authentically themselves. All right? That's it. That's it. I'm not, this divine destiny. No. All it is to be authentically you and to go where that takes you. I respect myself and my own abilities, recognizing the divine within that seeks to make me greater than I am at the moment. To remind me who I am, that I am a divine child of God, that seeks to remind you who you are, that you are a divine child of God. My consciousness turns with confidence to God, and God's ideas appear in me in perfect order and on time. So occasionally I gotta shut up and listen. Letting the infinite mind have its full sway in my thinking makes life easy and right. I can never falter nor fail, for I am governed by mind and by mind alone. Divine ideas impel me forward today, and I rejoice in my many demonstrations. All right, I do have a little bit of an issue with that because I have grown up in the South, and I have grown up with a whole bunch of men who want to tell me that God told them what I should be doing. And that right there is the issue. God will never tell me what you should be doing. And God will never tell you what I should be doing. God will tell you what you should be doing, and God will tell me what I shall be doing. So anybody who comes to me and says, well, God told me that you should be doing this. Nope. Not the way this works. Not the way this works. Just like you can't change anybody else, God will never tell another person what you should be doing. That's not the way this works, all right? The only person God will tell what to do, and that, I'm going to say that loosely, because God's never going to come right out and say, you should do. God's going to hint and send signs and send dreams, and God will never appear before you. Well, if God ever does appear before me and says you should do, then we'll have a different conversation. But until then, what I know to be a fact is God will never show up to another person and tell that person what I should be doing. All right? So put that in the bank. If somebody shows up to you and says, God told me you should be doing, then run. Run far away. Because God won't ever do that. God will only ever tell you what you should be doing. And only you. God will never show up to you and say, hey, call Jeffrey and tell Jeffrey he should do this. And call Dana and tell Dana she should be doing this. God won't do that. God will not do that. So, our mission today, should we choose to accept it, because our mission today is to not interfere with the higher mind. Our mission today is to get out of our own way. Our mission today is to recognize who we are and what our divine destiny is. But our mission today is to recognize that we are an outlet for that divine mind, that we are always in that presence and we are always using that power of God because we are the beloved children of God. That's what it is. To remember who we are. We are the beloved children of God in whom God is well pleased always and forever. This is our state of grace. And there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing we can do about it. And I find that amazing and comforting because it means that there are times that when I make mistakes and when I get in my own way, that I can readjust and get back on the path. I can remember who I am. And I can remember who you are. So, all right, beloveds. I'm going to encourage you, as I always do, to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. And in my world, right now, that looks like breakfast. I need to go eat something. And that can be it. It can be as simple as that. Having a good meal. It doesn't have to be complicated, but a good meal, a filling meal, a nourishing meal. That can be something loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself. Okay, and I'm also going to encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body today. I say that, it's Sunday. Today is my day of rest. I do not exercise today, or anything. But I do get up and go and do. I don't know what that's going to look like today, honestly. But drink plenty of water. It is hot. It is hot. It feels like it's already in the 90s here. And it was in the 90s at 8 o'clock this morning. The feels like, not the temperature. But, so drink plenty of water, all right? And in the process of whatever it is that you do to get your fresh air today, get your sunlight today, please open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven now. All right? It is all around you because we are made of God's stuff. Everything around us is made of God's stuff. Everything. So we want to look for the good and praise it because the more we look, the more we see, the more we see, the more there is. And that is how this works to create a world that works for everyone. The principles are personal gain for everyone. All right? We can't be selfish. But we don't have to be selfless either. All right? We can have as long as we are willing for everyone else to have too. Just a reminder. All right, beloveds. We will be back on Facebook Live for the 11 a.m. service. And yes, we are getting close to, there will be a time in the near future where we are going to open the doors and be in person again. All of the staff have been vaccinated. And so we hope that a lot of you guys have gotten vaccinated too. We just want to make everybody as safe as possible. So we will be on Facebook Live at 11 a.m. And then Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. And I will be back with you at 9 a.m. So please join us. Please join us. And if you miss us at 11, you can always scroll back and see it. Or check out the Creative Life Spiritual Center YouTube channel. And then, like I said, the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel is almost completely up to date. And now I just have to keep it that way. So feel free to check that out. So go check both those channels out. Like them, subscribe them, whatever it is that we do. And have a great day. All right? Have a good day. Have a great day. Have a wonderful day. Have whatever kind of day you need to have. And know that you're loved.